Welcome to this week's edition of the Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight, brought to you by Wheels and Deals of Pomeroy and the Meigs Independent Press.
Hi, this is Carrie Rose, the Meigs Independent Press. I'm here again this week with Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight, and this week my guest is Nancy Sidenstricker, with Ohio State University's Extension, Meigs County's branch of it,
Yes.
The office, and we're going to be talking about something that I'm pretty passionate about, and that is 4-H. And full disclosure, I was heavily involved in 4-H, never really hid that fact. I use the skills that I learned in 4-H every single day. There's never a day, especially in doing this job, that I don't use those skills. I was never comfortable standing up in front of anybody or speaking, especially like speaking in front of the camera or anything like that, until I got involved in 4-H. So tell us about 4-H, especially for somebody that doesn't know anything about it.
Okay. So 4-H is a youth development program that is here to basically help the children in our community become better, upstanding citizens. We strive to teach them leadership, community, service, respect, are our main focuses of 4-H. But in the meantime, they also learn skills like sewing and cooking and journalism, and they learn to take care of animals, and just there are hundreds of projects for them to choose from when they get in 4-H, and each one of them is a special skill that they can use in their life to move forward.
There's a lot of opportunity for leadership development.
A lot of leadership.
And I mean, you don't have to go that path, but there's opportunity there.
Yes.
There's opportunity to learn soft skills that employers and working with the chamber, that's something that a lot of employers have talked about wanting to see, are the development of soft skills, phone skills, but also those interpersonal type skills, and just, again, the just everyday being able to make a presentation or being able to talk to people, or whatever you need to do in the workforce.
Yeah, we have a big workforce development program as well that we offer to the local schools and even through the program itself. So
there's a little bit of everything.
There is a little bit of everything, and anything you're interested in, there's a 4-H project for it. Last year I went into the schools when we were still allowed, and took just an armload of books and showed the kids all these different projects that they had no idea that were available. I mean, knot making, and there's health and wellness and cooking, and I was always so excited when we would leave each classroom, because the kids were so excited, like, oh, I didn't know 4-H did that. Mm-hmm. But we do. So it's just a really great opportunity to get kids involved. We have kids that are involved in sports, also involved in 4-H, but if sports isn't your thing, 4-H is a great opportunity.
And that was definitely my case, because sports was definitely not my thing. And I had a whole group of friends that otherwise I would never have had. Mm-hmm. I had friends in other school districts and everything else. Of course, there was always the fair. Uh-huh. Now, this year the fair was different.
It was so different.
And unfortunately, if you were one of the kids that didn't have an animal, it was even more different. Yeah. But they still had fair. Yeah. And still planning on this year.
We are keeping our fingers crossed that we will be able to go back to normal. We don't know for sure yet, but that's the goal.
Tell us a little bit about, because I know that enrollment is coming up. So if I'm interested in 4-H, what do I do?
So if you're interested in 4-H, you can reach out to our office. It's the Meigs County Extension office, and we have a website, meigs.osu.edu, and we can give you a list of the clubs in our area, so you can pick a club either based on if it's something specific you want to do. Certain clubs specialize in some things, or if you just want to go to a club that's close to where you live. and we can help fit you with a club that would be good for you. And then we have enrollment that is due by April 1st to our office. And we're hoping to be able to do some online enrollment this year. So I did that today with a friend, and it went really smoothly. It was like 10 minutes online. All you have to have is the internet, and it's so much easier than just sitting and writing down all that information that it's like school packets, you have to fill out, and you got carpal tunnel by the time you're done. So that eliminates that, and you're already in the system and ready to go. So just reach out to our office, or if you know somebody who's in 4-H, talk to them about maybe joining a club with them. And if you have any questions, we can always help you figure out what you want to do.
And there are some clubs that specialize. Some are more livestock, but there's also other projects. There's just about, like you said, there's all kinds of things, and there are you can go through the website and be able to see all the different projects, can't you?
I believe so. I
So,
think our
yeah.
family guide is on there.
Yeah, I think the guide's on there.
And then we have a Facebook page too. It's OSU Meigs County Extension, I believe, is how it's worded on there. But I think if you start typing it in, it'll pop up.
It comes up.
But we have a wealth of information on our website or on our Facebook page daily. So it's a really great resource as well, and you can reach out to us through that.
Now, do you have, someone that joins 4-H, what do you typically see out of kids that have been in 4-H? What's the impact?
The impact is so amazing on kids that join 4-H. The kids who have been in 4-H or are more likely to go to college than kids who haven't done something like that. The kids learn a lot of community service. They are more active in communities and become more involved in communities as they grow and get older. They learn skills that other kids who don't have the 4-H opportunity learn as well, like we mentioned, leadership skills, and there's a lot of respect. They learn those life skills that sometimes get missed nowadays. Some things aren't taught in school, and kids are learning to work together as groups and to meet deadlines and those kind of things.
And it's not that you're saying anything. We're not saying anything about schools,
right,
or anything else, but it's that extracurricular opportunity. And again, for me, what was a big thing about it was friendships,
yes,
and the experience.
Oh yeah, camp is a big part of 4-H as well. If you're interested in doing something like that, our camp is at Cantor's Cave in Jackson County, and I have not met a person who went through 4-H and went to camp who doesn't still absolutely love the camp experience and who wouldn't give anything to go back and do that again. They learn so much, they meet so many people, it's a lot of fun. It can help bring people out of those shells. It's a great opportunity for them to grow.
It is. I mean, there's all kinds of different activities and hiking, and there's just different activities there that maybe you wouldn't get to do otherwise.
Yeah.
I remember that was the first place that I'd ever been in a canoe.
Oh yeah.
I learned to canoe at camp, and there was just actually really, even though I had been swimming, I really learned to swim at camp. And there's just all kinds of different things that you can learn. It's just experiences, and they're good experiences.
Yeah. I think there's 5 different counties that get together and come to camp, and the kids getting to meet all those kids from other counties and work together as a team and live together and function for that week long, or whatever it may be, hopefully a week long this year, are just great opportunities for them to learn and grow and to learn those team building activities and just coming out of the shell.
What else can you get from 4-H? As far as, I mean, I know that there's the clubs and there's programs. Are there other activities, other things? I know there's a lot of, when you're talking about just like doing the clubs and things, especially if you're taking any kind of animals, and there's a lot of quality assurance things, and that's really changed over the years. Because it used to be you just kind of showed up at the fair with your animal, and maybe you did a book, maybe you didn't. And that's different now. Now you really are expecting the kids to know a lot more about their animals. They're learning more of this of the science behind the animals and how to raise them and how to take care of them, and of course the economics and everything else. So what kind of, I mean, I know quality assurance is in there, but what kind of other activities or events? I know there's camp, but
so when you join 4-H, you choose projects that you're interested in, and there's a project book, and that project book is basically a guide to learning all about that program that you want to learn about. So whether it is a cooking project, there is recipes throughout the book, and it teaches you kitchen utensils and terms and conditions of all that aspects of cooking, and you work on that throughout the year, and as the year winds up, you end up with a project at the end, and we have a judging, and you will come in and bring your project, make a couple of your foods, or for example anyway, and then they get tasted and you get asked questions about it. Interviewing skills is also a very wonderful thing that kids learn through that judging process. And then you know, you're graded on it, and you can win ribbons, and you can win awards. There's state level awards that you can win in your projects. And then also with the animals, like Carrie said, it shows you, the book shows you, you know, what food to use or what kind of foods to use, and how to groom your animal, and how to give it medication if it needs it. It teaches you when you need the veterinarian or when you can take care of your animal yourself. And it basically is also a guide that just teaches you how to take care of this animal for the length of time that you have it before you bring it to the fair. And as she mentioned, quality assurance is a program that you have to complete when you have an animal, and it basically gives you the information and then kind of tests your knowledge on the things as far as feeding it, you know, housing it, again giving it its medication, you know, how you even handle and react to it as well. So the kids are required to go through that just so that they know what is expected of them, and also because the animals are sold for consumption afterwards, they have to be a very high quality that can't have, you know, medication in its system because it's going to be consumed. So it's not just buying an animal and taking it to the fair or, you know, picking a project and saying, yeah, I did that. There is a lot involved in it, but in the end, they learn so much from it, and it really is the skills, like you said, that you take with you into life.
It's all about experience.
It is.
And building that sense of community. That's always part of it. And one of the things that was always, you know, it's throughout everything that 4-H does is always a, you know, no drugs, no tobacco, no alcohol, clean living kind of concept. And that is something that I know I really embraced when I was young, because that was, I mean, it was a great place to find friends. It was a great place to find good people.
It is. Every time I send out an email to my 4-H people, I always say hello 4-H family, because that's what we really are. We're a family, and you know, my volunteers and advisors take these kids in under their wing, and they're not just kids who are in their club, they're part of their family, and that's the way it is throughout the 4-H community. Everybody is just really looks out for one another and takes care of one another, and it is a great sense of community.
There's a lot of mentoring.
There is a lot of mentoring.
Well, is there anything else that you want to add as far as what 4-H can do?
I'm not sure about what 4-H can do, but right now is our push to really get people out there and interested in 4-H, and I'm really excited to hopefully get some new members this year. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we can't do a big fun kickoff like we did last year. But if you're interested in 4-H even just a little bit, check with us, or and we can get you in touch with people who are involved in 4-H so that we can let you know what you might be interested in, help you pick something that would be good for you, a good fit for you.
Okay. Well, we're going to be back next week, and we're going to talk about the other things that Extension does, because Extension isn't just 4-H. A lot of people think that it is, but there's a lot of other programs. There's a lot of other things that Extension does, and we'll be back with Nancy talking about that. And again, I'm Carrie Rose, the Makes Independent Press. I'm here with Community Spotlight at Wheels and Deals, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
This week's Community Spotlight is brought to you by Wheels and Deals of Pomeroy and the Meg's Independent Press.